Heartless Vestige. The countdown has begun. The matchup is Protoss versus Protoss. The colors yellow versus orange, and in the bottom right-hand corner,
oh my goodness, yellow
representing Team SMI, he is the hopeful, the OneTrickPony.
Spawning as his opponent in a very similar color, somehow ended up on Team Grubby. But no, it's really Team Infinity 7. It is the Orange Protoss, TubbytheFat.
Playing with his keyboard on his lap, actually. I'm not sure if he was doing that earlier as well. Yeah, that's totally negating the fact that he's on a table and saying, man, I don't know how high this table might be. I don't know if I can put my keyboard where I like it, so I will put it right on my lap. And we do see the pylon coming out for Tubby just slightly ahead of his opponent. But really, these two builds are going to be very similar at the start.
Exactly. We can see right now, pylon going behind the middle line here. He's going to be putting his tech behind this middle line. I mean, doesn't make too much of a difference where you put it right now, but that will be harder to attack later on. It does come to a 4-gear or a 3-gear attack. The units have to move further into the base to do some damage.
People naming types of cheese, having said that Protoss is all cheese. Swiss, Gouda, Gruyere, whatever you like, guys. Protoss has it all. They are a versatile, cheesy race. We do see that there will be a gateway coming down for Tubby, for TubbytheFat in top left, and at the same time as his opponent, OneTrickPony. So both these players very similar. It's nothing very cheesy at this moment. No proxy play, no sort of cannon rush. Both these players look like they're going to play straight up in this first match that they will face off against each other.
TubbytheFat scouting for any sort of shenanigans going on in his base. Doesn't see a probe there at all. So no hidden pylons. Not going to be some sort of 2-gate proxy or some sort of forge proxy. And now happily going to be continuing to create probes, has his gas as well. Now,
2 assimilators. Yeah. What does this mean? Is he going to be going into DT play, or is he going to force out a little air play earlier on?
Not necessarily. I mean, you get 2 assimilators, you put 2 probes in each, you can get a pretty easy, 3-stalker rush or 5-stalker rush. Gives you a lot of map control, denies some sort of 4-gate. So a very nice play here, and you can see right there, 2 in each geyser. So it gives you enough gas to get the tech that you need without having to sacrifice too many minerals.
Yeah, having those 2 assimilators this early, but means that he would have to delay his cyber core just slightly, but you can see it's not that much farther behind the 1 assimilator of TubbytheFat. So that is the trade-off these players will be playing with. I do want to mention in chat, all you guys are talking about cheese. I have a question that has never truthfully been answered, but cheese goes well with every food. If you can name a food that doesn't go well with cheese, let me know. I think that cheese goes well with everything.
Yeah, it does.
Cereal is deconstructed bread, bro. Cheese goes well.
Could work with that. We can see that not a second gateway hasn't gone down for our player over here. The colors are confusing me. OneTrickPony has not put down a second gateway,
hard.
so he's not going to be going for any sort of crazy intense stalker rush. Instead, getting 1 stalker, creating another pylon, and getting the warp gate and that mothership core.
Mothership core. This might mean that he's just either getting it early to generate that energy for the photon overcharge, or maybe might want to do a little bit of aggression with this. Like you said, a 3-gate push that might have a return. There's a lot of energy being saved by TubbytheFat on his Nexus. We'll see what he decides to spend that energy on. He isn't chrono boosting warp gate, isn't chrono boosting the stalker. We'll see what he decides to do. Twilight Council coming out for Tubby. Is this going to be countered by the Stargate play?
Most likely, it seems Tubby is going to be going for some sort of blink play here. He has the Mothership Core. You know, blink attacks are so strong these days against Protoss, especially because the Mothership Core provides you a very early way of looking up your opponent's ramp, getting the vision, being able to blink up right there.
Sorry, I just want to say, someone said cheese and chocolate. My friend, have you ever had chocolate cheesecake? It's delicious. Go on, Songers.
We can see that the Stargate has gone down for OneTrickPony, and this Stargate is going to play a pretty big role in how this game will play out. An Oracle in the back of the base could be very effective, but no, looks like it's not going to be dink play.
DT play. That was a misspoke if I ever saw one.
But yes, it
will DT. Is he gonna? No, there's gonna be no vision of this at all either. So either OneTrickPony's gonna suspect this, and that's why he's getting the Oracle. But he needs to make sure there's enough Oracle in his base. Being able to reveal invisible units he does have 60 seconds worth of vision provided by the Oracle, but he needs the energy, and he needs to have his Oracles close all the time. So it will take a little bit more micro than just having an observer. But this DT play could be game breaking.
Yeah, we see the Stalker over here finds the proxy pylon laid down by TubbytheFat, so he won't be able to get that pylon to warp into these. However, you know what? Tubby goes straight to your natural and lays the pylon down there. That is where he's going to warp in his DTs. Man. Also getting robotically himself, just in case he doesn't get DT'd himself.
In case he gets DT'd, yeah. Doesn't want to get DT'd by the DT'er. And then, yes, that interesting pylon placement, it's only now being seen, forcing forcing OneTrickPony to now have to start defeating it with the little zaps of the probe. This Oracle is going across the map. It won't be in position for the DTs. The DTs are going to be warped in very soon. Is this going to be devastating or not? There's going to be huge economical damage to both of these players. TubbytheFat has nothing to defend against this Oracle, which is doing massive damage. That pulsar laser beam is going to be able to ravage these probes. And now, here comes the Observer en route. Are the DTs going to be able to do enough damage?
DT. Oh, look at the Zealot block there. Not letting the DT out into the base. There goes the Observer. Down goes the DT. I mean, the Oracle was chased away, but at what cost? 29 to 16 workers at the moment.
Indeed, that DT play wasn't as effective as he thought. It might have been 11 kills on that Oracle, so definitely this Oracle has paid for itself, and then some. That Pulsar Laser Beam is just so powerful against those light units, and you can't let it go unanswered, so the DT play didn't quite give him the advantage he was probably hoping for, but he is securing his natural a little bit sooner.
Yeah, he's trying to delay this expansion with that DT, but, you know, with the Observer already produced, one more DT does go down, and that Oracle is still available around the map. The expansion is almost complete here for TubbytheFat. He has units in the mineral line, but he is very behind on workers right now.
Indeed, Wagon Wheel, but at what cost? So that we do see that the Stalkers and Zealot are just trying to move around, maybe trying to locate him. Perhaps he thought there was a DT over there, but he's being very mobile with this army. Doesn't want to get caught off guard, wants to make sure. And here comes round number 2. The Stalkers will be able to deflect it, and OneTrickPony knows that OTP does return back towards the natural. He's going to see the timing and see that that Nexus is done, but he saves that Oracle for another run by later on.
TubbytheFat needs to catch up in this probe count right now, but it's very dangerous for him as there is a quite small amount against the army isn't too large for OneTrickPony. Both these players playing very safe, both making the Immortals. You see extra gateways going down for OneTrickPony.
You can see that these players decided to go the tech route, not for the rest of the game, but just for literally one stage to get to the next level. Both have completely abandoned their earlier tech. We don't see any more DTs coming out by our Protoss player in the orange known as TubbytheFat. We don't see any more air units coming out for our yellow Protoss OneTrickPony. OneTrickPony is transitioning into DTs though. Will this pay off for him? Will he be getting Archons, or will he try some surreptitious play with those invisible units?
Trying to pay the favor back to TubbytheFat. That is exactly what that Dark Shrine is going to do. A Forge also coming down for OneTrickPony means that he will have an upgrade advantage in terms of the later game. It could be +1 armor, it could be +1 attack, but it looks like a
High Templar and DT
down as well.
No,
wow.
Did he cancel? Where's his DT?
It canceled.
He canceled his DT, decides to get High Templar instead. Will mean a little bit cheaper cost on getting those Archons if he decides to use it for that. And here come more Immortals to rejoin the army of TubbytheFat. The Forge is going down for Tubby, so his upgrades will be a little bit behind. Level 1 weapons is going up for our yellow Protoss OneTrickPony.
Well, cheaper for minerals, but more expensive for gas.
Definitely. But in total, it ends up being less costly than the 125.
You see right here, he only has one of the extra gas geysers at his natural base right now. Probably needs a couple more if he wants to go into full production on those Templars and for those Archons. Because the charge being researched for TubbytheFat, that's going to be giving him a great engagement angle if he takes it on the middle of the map in an open area.
I just remembered TubbytheFat is still playing without a shirt. I just looked over there and I can't take him seriously right now. He's totally shirtless, just playing like a boss. So he is doing all this without a shirt, guys. That is how amazing Tubby the Shirtless is. So yes, that charge is almost done. Level 1 weapons is a little bit delayed from OneTrickPony, but it is on its way. More High Templars coming in, and there is no storm. This is strictly for strictly for Archons. And look at that, 11 Instructor. That's not a very devastating name, but he will instruct his way into this mineral line, and he will do some devastating damage.
Thank you, school, for sure. More models being produced right now. Templar Archons of them all, and I feel like I know what sort of build these guys are going for. Most recently, there's been some. Oh, that's an Envision on the army instead. I don't know if that was a misclick or not.
Maybe a little bit of nerves, but there's the Photon Overcharge. It's going to be able to take out this Oracle, but this Oracle, 16 kills. It was a master when it died, and it took out so many economy units for TubbytheFat, which means in this mirror matchup, it is going to be very difficult to come back from that economical devastation provided by that Oracle.
So, a recent metagame for PvP, what people have been trying to do is go Immortal Archon Tempest. It's been very effective, especially against your typical, Colossus build.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
And, okay, just make Dark Shrine again.
Just keep building them.
Okay, so keep talking about this. Because you have your Tempest, they can do a lot of damage to the Colossus, take those down. Immortals are also very strong. You can micro them properly, target fire down the Colossus. Then you have this beefy Archon army that just crushes through your opponent.
Indeed, yeah, and Tempest are so good against the Protoss army. They do devastating damage, and because Protoss armies are so slow, slow Tempest can snipe for such a long time. Yes, indeed. I don't think that TubbytheFat even needs a shirt because he has shields. There's a DT warding off that Zealot. That Zealot will not be able to take out that pylon. In fact, it will die for its trouble. But this DT better not lose his life as well. He's way too expensive to lose cheaply.
Yeah, you can see both these players getting all the upgrades.
It's like the entire army, though.
Now. It is. It's very small. Both these players are playing very safe, just using harassment abilities to keep an eye on their opponent, see what their opponent's up to. OneTrickPony using the Oracle. TubbytheFat using the DT, and now ramping up this production. There doesn't seem to be a third base at all for Tubby. He stopped pro production a while ago.
The old mantra, whoever expands first in Protoss versus Protoss dies, does not apply anymore in Heart of the Swarm, but we'll see if TubbytheFat decides that he will make that mantra come back and reign true in Heart of the Swarm. A bunch of Archons being warped in, as well as a Warp Prism for a little bit of extra harassment / being able to warp in units in the front of his opponent's base. And it looks like both these players are wanting to make a little bit of aggression right now, but neither really wants to lose their army, neither wants to go down 0-1 in this best of 3 losers bracket.
Exactly. Protoss armies are so expensive and hard to replace. We see that Tubby, OneTrickPony is going to have a couple of seconds where he does have an upgrade advantage in the attack. However, Tubby does have a Warp Prism now slowly moving its way down the side of the map.
A little faster than slowly now.
No, that's pretty fast.
Yeah, and it is going to have a great opportunity to drop. Look at that, the Warp Prism coming out for OneTrickPony, but it's not rallied towards Tubby. Tubby's going to be able to drop these units. At the same time, he's moving his entire unit army towards the Xel'Naga Tower on their way to either the third or the natural. This is something that OneTrickPony is going to react to, which means that his Warp Prism is going to, the Warp Prism of TubbytheFat is going to be able to come in unknown. They both pass each other on the minimap. The Warp Prism of OneTrickPony is going towards his base, but it's too late. These units have to drop before this cannon does take them out. A huge warp in by OneTrickPony, but it doesn't matter. This cannon's going to go down. Is there enough for TubbytheFat to break this?
Oh, DT is warped in as well. This is going to do so much damage, especially when the cannon can't see. But no, the main fight is over here. There is a choke for the Archons with these rocks here, trying to waste the charge out. But now the main base is under assault. What is OneTrickPony going to do? How is he going to defend as the Nexus goes down?
He can't defend it. This has been a critical blow by TubbytheFat. This has been, he struck when the iron was hot, and you can see that he's taking down this base with extreme havoc and malice. These DTs have no respect for their fellow beings, and they just want to take out this base. Yellow is not orange, and TubbytheFat wants to end their lives.
There is no production. All the gateways have been on power, except for these two down here, and Tubby is just sitting outside this third base. Wonderful play there. Not going to engage. There's no need to engage. He's doing damage already.
Indeed, and OneTrickPony knows if he tries to engage it, then he'll be in trouble. He'll lose his army as well. There looks like a devastating attack over at the base, the natural of TubbytheFat, or at least there was some sort of aggression. TubbytheFat might lose this, the Warp Prism needs to be careful. More DTs are coming in. They're going to be able to do devastating damage, but they are detected. They need to take down these photon cannons very quickly. More units are being warped in. TubbytheFat just trying to bait out this army, playing a little cat and mouse game.
Really, with this proxy pylon on, the Warp Prism over here, OneTrickPony was able to do damage back at Tubby, but his production is still in check. There have been pylons, they have repowered the gateways in the main base. Tubby's still sitting outside of this third base right now, while using that Warp in to do huge damage to the natural.
Yo, Genius6, I absolutely love you. That was from Legacy of Kain. I absolutely love that game. Faye Victus is what we see. Our Orange Protoss screaming as he screams forward with all his unit composition, and he is trying to end TubbytheFat. Another Nexus goes down. This is devastating play. OneTrickPony is reeling, hemorrhaging, needs to find an answer for this draw play.
Yeah, now Tubby is going to go retreat 2 Nexuses for a bunch of Zealots and DTs. Yeah, I like that trade. He's going to head back to his main base, probably try to tech up a little bit more. He now is remaking those probes that he lost in the Warp Prism attack from OneTrickPony, and we can see OneTrickPony now finally feeling safe enough to move out.
Indeed, Mothership does get recalled just in time back to the main base of TubbytheFat, so he will recall and save a lot of his army. He does have a great advantage in this battle, but OneTrickPony, never say die. Grubby. Just all grubby. Hashtag grubby. I don't want to say Grubby the Fat, Grubby the Shirtless, but we do see this is still a pretty beefy army for OneTrickPony. As long as he picks his engagements correctly, he could somehow claw his way into this game. He does have level 3 weapons on their way. TubbytheFat has no more weapon upgrades in tow, so he might find a moment where his engagement could be far superior.
Yeah, and that time is going to be actually very soon. The +3 attack weapons is about 75% done for OneTrickPony. Tubby's still trying to make things happen, using that Phoenix, the scout, hallucinate Phoenix that it is, to see exactly where his opponent's army is. And right now, in terms of army value, we can see that it's pretty even. However, supplies are in favor of OneTrickPony.
Indeed, but
Actually, that's not even. That's a lot of gas in Archons right there.
It is a pretty beefy army coming out of One Trick, but there are a lot of Immortals, and who wins in a fight? Immortals versus Archons. I feel that the damage output could be pretty powerful coming out for our Protoss player in the orange, also known as TubbytheFat.
There goes the third base, but it's already being attacked by that Dark Templar from that War Prism that OneTrickPony made earlier. Second Dark Templar joining the fray over here, slicing down that Nexus, but it is cancelled by Tubby. He has another War Prism sitting outside on the west side of the map. I was like,
you're so bad. Those cardinal directions. So that third base was denied. If anything, TubbytheFat hasn't been able to secure that third, which is about the only thing that OneTrickPony does have going for him. He has been able to rebuild his nexuses within his own base, and he's slowly getting back to a position where he can claw himself into this game. But look at that drone disadvantage for Tubby. I mean, that is a huge deficit.
So many drones, but they're actually probes.
Sorry, probes. Probes droning away.
Probes
Workers, drones, probes, everything that is producing that mineral.
Even hallucinating a couple of Colossus over here, but sending them by themselves. I don't think OneTrickPony is gonna fall for this. This solo Colossus.
He might try to snipe it, and he will snipe it. He does charge his Zealots forward and realizes, oh, that was a dummy move. So now these two units are posturing outside of the main base of TubbytheFat. TubbytheFat needs to be careful not to lose his entire army in one bad engagement, because outside of his base, it'll be very difficult to recoup all those losses and rebuild an army. Storm is on its way for TubbytheFat. He might be trying to buy some time to storm the army of OneTrickPony. One Zealot goes forward to scout the army composition of TubbytheFat. I'm not sure if he feels he can defend this, but look at this. This level 3 weapons is going to go down, which means level 3 weapons for OneTrickPony is going to be the tech advantage for quite some time.
Yeah, here comes the attack back to the rock, but gets more surface area towards Archon and his out. Meanwhile, in the main base, what is there to defend? Observer comes out, and TubbytheFat's VTs will be able to take down VTs, but no, the Robo goes down as well.
This army, they just are basically, the mothership core does go down. These armies are just going back and forth. They're just doing a beautiful dance between Protoss, and neither one wants to pick a fight though. TubbytheFat is trying to clear up this attack inside of his main, and here it comes. There's a good concave for TubbytheFat. He's got good storms on the units. He's got the choke. This is a great engagement for him. That was a good choice. Good timing to attack, but is it enough? He needs even more to end this.
A couple of storms landing on his own Zealots though as they charged into the battle. Some Archons will get their shield back. The Time Warp goes down, slows down a couple of Archons, but this is it. Storm's going down over the whole tower. Mothership Core goes in to die. Observer's disappearing as well. He wants to warp in GTs. This is the chance. Immortal's trying to do as much damage as he can. They don't do too much damage to the Archon's shield. You can see the Zealots just slicing away, and the Immortals' numbers are getting smaller and smaller. It looks like the +3 attack was just too much. OneTrickPony pushes forward.
And I don't think TubbytheFat can get out of this, and he himself agrees, and what a crazy battle. No, nobody was the victor until just the last moments.